It caused dizziness, stomach churning, and even vomiting. This smell, even when slightly inhaled, would rush straight to one's head. In mid-1 9th century London, during a hot summer, residents along the Thames suddenly noticed an extremely strong stench. Members of Parliament hung curtains soaked in chloride of lime. Even government buildings couldn't escape the odor. They stuffed any cracks that might let the smell in. Eventually, people stayed indoors. Anyone who smelled it experienced physical discomfort. Without exaggeration, all residents on both banks suffered. London in the 19th century was in the midst of the Industrial Revolution. London was experiencing an unprecedented public health crisis, the Great Stink. The source of all this was the Thames River. They sealed windows to combat the nauseating stench. Privately established cesspools were scattered throughout streets and alleys. Sanitation facilities were insufficient for the growing population. The influx of residents overwhelmed existing sewage systems. Infrastructure development lagged far behind population growth. The city's population surged from less than 1 million to over 2.5 million in just a few decades. Rapid industrial and commercial development attracted large populations. By mid-1 9th century, many sewers were in a state of disrepair. They constructed over 100 sewer lines. London began building sewers in the 18th century. Crude drainage ditches could be found everywhere in the city. It served as a transportation route for the city. The Thames River was London's lifeline. Early sewer systems grew increasingly obsolete and overburdened. These gases sometimes even exploded. Methane and other gases leaking from cesspools frequently caught fire. The popularization of flush toilets increased water usage significantly. Even decaying organic waste ended up in the water. Domestic sewage was dumped without treatment. Industrial wastewater flowed freely into the Thames. With increasing industrialization, waste was directly discharged into the river. It was also an important water source for the entire city. The Thames gradually transformed into a flowing sewer. This severely damaged the river's original ecology. Untreated sewage accumulated along the riverbanks. Many citizens began suffering from diarrhea and vomiting. Under these conditions, London experienced multiple cholera outbreaks. In 1831, London experienced its first cholera epidemic. The contamination caused cholera to spread extensively. This further contaminated water sources and food. Excretions and vomit entered the Thames through sewers. Cholera primarily spread through the fecal-oral route. Between 1853 and 1854, London suffered a third cholera outbreak. They focused instead on cleaning streets and improving air circulation. The government did not implement effective measures to address river pollution. In 1848, cholera swept through London again. This resulted in 6,536 deaths. Various reform attempts emerged over time. Despite increasingly serious sewage problems, the government failed to pay sufficient attention. They did not connect illness to water pollution. People believed diseases were caused by corrupt gases. The miasma theory was prevalent at that time. This third wave caused about 10,738 deaths. Persistent high temperatures caused the Thames water level to drop sharply. The summer of 1858 brought unusually high temperatures to London. Multi-headed management systems prevented coordinated responses. Financial constraints made improvements difficult. Technological limitations hindered effective solutions. Records show temperatures reached 34 degrees Celsius in the shade. This decomposition released pungent and foul odors. The heat wave caused organic-rich sewage to decompose rapidly. Waste remained stranded on the riverbed and shores. Drought conditions prevented sewage from dispersing in the river. The odor caused headaches and stomach discomfort. Citizens complained about air permeated with the smell of decay and feces. Areas close to the river had suffocatingly intense smells. Almost all London residents could sense the unprecedented stench. This extreme climate exacerbated the pollution problem. In direct sunlight, temperatures soared to 48 degrees Celsius. The strong smell forced members to take temporary measures. Even the British Parliament building was not spared from the odor. It also directly affected the normal functioning of the government. The Great Stink made ordinary citizens miserable. The public worried that this stench would become a new source of disease. The stench triggered the spread of various infectious diseases. Journalists used extremely exaggerated language to describe the disaster. Some proposed relocating government departments out of London. Many members expressed strong dissatisfaction about this environmental disaster. Indoors, curtains soaked in chloride of lime helped mitigate the stench. Workers spread lime on the Thames' shallows during low tide. They used 220 to 280 tons of lime near sewer outlets. This intensified public dissatisfaction with the situation. Satirical and mocking remarks spread quickly throughout society. Publications commented that surviving this smell was fortunate. Some called it a foul odor that cannot be described in elegant terms. Terms like deadly stench appeared in newspapers. His plan included borrowing £3 million. He proposed establishing special funds for a solution. He described the Thames as a river from hell. In June 1858, British Chancellor Benjamin proposed immediate improvements. Faced with this serious environmental crisis, the government finally took action. The most crucial step was finding a capable engineer. The government introduced emergency measures. Ultimately, it gained support from most members. The proposal triggered intense discussion in Parliament. This would raise funds for constructing a new sewer system. He suggested imposing a 3-penny tax on all London households. Bazalgette proposed collecting sewage through newly built systems. He became responsible for designing a brand new sewer system. He was appointed chief engineer of the Metropolitan Board of Works. His deep understanding of urban drainage systems made him ideal. He had outstanding civil engineering abilities. Joseph Bazalgette was selected for this important task. He utilized elevation advantages in his design. The system prevented sewage from directly flowing into the Thames. This centralized sewage from various residential and industrial areas. He designed a sewer network covering the entire London area. His plan discharged waste centrally downstream, far from urban areas. This enabled the system to handle larger sewage loads. He left sufficient capacity margin in his design. Bazalgette considered London's future population growth. The design reduced reliance on mechanical equipment. This made sewage flow automatically along predetermined slopes. These collected sewage from across the city. London had 2 main trunk sewers, north and south. These collected and transported large amounts of sewage. The main trunks were the core of the system. He divided the sewer system into 3 main parts. The design considered topographic differences across locations. It channeled sewage through branches into the main trunks. The branch system connected neighborhoods, streets, and buildings. They directed waste toward discharge points far from urban areas. This allowed waste to flow toward discharge points using gravity. These pumped sewage from low to high ground. Several pumping stations were set up for low-lying areas. This ensured all sewage could smoothly enter the main system. These included Victoria Embankment, Chelsea Embankment, and Albert Embankment. Bazalgette designed embankment projects along the Thames. Inspection access ensured long-term stable operation. Regular maintenance points were incorporated into the planning. They also beautified the city, giving it a fresh appearance. The embankments served flood prevention purposes. They provided recreational walking spaces for citizens. They improved central London's landscape significantly. The embankments served the sewer system and had drainage functions. The entire sewer system stretched hundreds of kilometers. It was essentially completed by 1875. The project launched in 1859. Bazalgette's team overcame many technical challenges. Thousands of workers collaborated on construction. The project required vast amounts of brick, mortar, and steel. Their fund scheduling methods were also groundbreaking. Their construction techniques were innovative for the time. They pioneered new models in project management. This design pioneered modern urban infrastructure construction. The sewer system greatly improved London's sanitary environment. London now had 200,000 toilets and 360 sewers.